And now,
this is Jeremy Housewright of your Gate City Blue Devil football team, and you are listening to the home of the Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
This is Michael Calhoun, speaking on behalf of the Gate City football and track team. We would like to thank you for listening to Gate City Sports Radio, home of the Blue Devils.
This is Luke Reed of the Gate City football, basketball, and soccer teams, and you're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio. Go Big Blue.
This is Suzanne Moore of the Gate City Cross Country and Track teams, and you are listening to the home of the Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio. Let's go, Blue.
We are the Gate City Cheerleaders, and you're listening to the home of the Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
you are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be and however you may be listening to us. Thank you for making us a part of your Wednesday night. You're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio. I'm Joe Carter along with Chris Carr, and we're broadcasting to you live from the Campus Drive-In here on Kane Street in Gate City for our Blue Devils Live weekly radio show. Tonight, we're going to have a breakdown of the matchup against Lehigh from last week. We'll take a look as we get ready for the John Battle Trojans this Friday night. We'll also take a look at some of the other action from Southwest Virginia and Northeast Tennessee, as well as interviews with some of our Gate City coaches and players. We'll talk about some of the other fall sports and then the Tweet It or Delete It that Mr. Carr will be participating in. It's a jam-packed show tonight, and we're going to start it off. We've got Gate City's finest right here. Coach Housewright is with us here. Coach, how are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right, who have you brought with us?
I got DeAndre Mack, Logan Tomlinson, and Landon Blanton.
And we've also got another guest here, which we're going to have our interviews and talk to the players here, but we've also got a special co-host tonight, Miss Sam Jarrell. How are you tonight, Miss Sam?
I'm good.
She's going to be helping us out with some of the other questions that we'll be asking here in just a few minutes. And then, of course, like I said, after we talk to the guys, we'll talk to her a little bit about basketball and track and field, some things coming up. Coach, let's start with you. Great week. Anytime you beat Lehigh, first of all, it's a great week. But talk to a little bit about the game, things you saw, and things that you felt good about, and some things you still need to work on.
I think offensively we executed well. Coach Reed had a great game plan, and the kids ran it to a T. And defensively we played well. We flew around. It always helps our offense whenever we're able to get stops and get off the field. And that kind of loosens things up and lets Coach Reed do what he thinks we need to do instead of him trying to think of ways to survive, And they're playing hard. I mean, give these kids credit. They're going to work every day.
I thought the defense really had a stellar night. I had them I had Lehigh at, I believe it was 0 for 7 on third down attempts. They were really crashing in really well, I thought.
Yeah, they're picking it up and playing discipline right now, and everybody's doing their job, and not everybody's trying to be the hero and make a tackle. They're just doing their job, and whoever it falls into, that's who's getting the credit for it.
DeAndre, we'll come around to you. Of course, you had a big reception. You went in from 38 yards out, wide open. I mean, but give Luke credit. He put it right there. What was your thoughts again as you were able to cross in and get Gate City on the board early?
Well, I just kind of lined up out there, and I knew I could trust Luke if I got open to set it in there perfectly, and he did exactly that.
Logan, Coach was just talking about everybody sort of getting it. You all been flying around to the football now. Are you not having to think so much about what the defense is and what you're having to do as to now you're just able to react and sort of play?
I like playing back at safety. It just gives me like a better view of everything. I can see the line move. I can see where the backs are going. It just gives me a good overall view, and I just fly down.
Coming around to the – all right, again, you ended up, I believe, with 86 yards landed on the night. Talk to us a little bit about what you saw from Lehigh. And, of course, like I said, you had some huge hits as well on the defensive side. Got him speechless. Speechless. Nice. You do all your talking on the field, right?
Yeah.
that's great for radio.
yeah, helps us work quite a bit. Guys, and any of you, what have you seen so far? Of course, we're getting ready for John Battle coming up. John Battle, 1-win team, but they are desperate because, again, it's kind of their backs are against the wall in terms if they want to get in the VHSL playoffs. What have you seen on film, and what have y'all been preparing for this week?
They're just where they run that little triple option. You just got to, eyes got to be everywhere, got to play your position, and not just try and be the hero like Coach said and make the tackle every time.
Coach, what have you seen, and talk a little bit about John Battle and what your thoughts are about the Trojans?
I think we're going to have to play defensively. We're going to have to be real disciplined in what we're doing. Everybody's got to read their keys and do what they're supposed to do. Offensively, we got to keep blocking like we have. The offensive line's done a great job. Backs are blocking for each other, and they've been running hard when they've had the ball in their hands, and when they haven't, nobody's been selfish, and everybody's taking one for the team, so to speak, and blocking for their buddies. And we're coming together pretty good, and we just got to continue that this week against John Battle. And Battle plays hard. They play real hard. It's not going to be an easy game for us, and we just got to go down there and do what we do best and see what happens.
Of course, last year you all jumped out to a huge lead early. They came back and won the ball game. Any revenge factor idea in your heads about getting back at the Trojans?
You just go out and smack them in the mouth and win.
Simple as that. Just some good old-fashioned football. Coach, talking about the maturation of the team as a whole, the last few weeks, the passing games really looked good. And, again, Luke and Coach Reed, I know has worked with him. Talk a little bit about the passing game that started really to come around here the second half of the season.
Well, we've been able to do it a little bit more during the ball games because defensively we've helped the offense out by getting off the field. I mean, that's been a big key part to be able to get reps in these games. And we've been repping it now in practice for a real long time, and they're starting to get comfortable with it. And we've got guys that can catch it, and the offensive line's doing a good job of protecting, and Luke's doing a good job of delivering the football where it's supposed to be thrown.
Good deal. Talking a little bit, Coach, of course, the middle school JV team sort of wrapped up their season with a win over John Battle. Talk a little bit about the program as a whole, the young guys that start to come up and what you've sort of seen, the maturation of those players and what you're looking for coming up the next few years.
I thought our eighth grade team, I think they play hard. I mean, we was only able to see them a couple games, but they had some pretty good numbers, and the kids are playing hard. And now the next step is trying to get them all in the weight room and trying to keep them all out for football. And we need as many kids as we can get out there coming up for next season.
Was it a pure eighth grade team, or did you have some seventh or?
We had eighth and seventh grade.
Seventh and eighth grade, okay. Because I know there was some confusion about that. I got a couple messages saying, well, it was a JV team, and then they said, no, it's all eighth graders. And I was like, well, I think there were some seventh graders. Mm-hmm. Really wasn't for sure exactly the makeup of it.
Yeah, we go eighth and seventh grade. Our JV team, which we weren't fortunate enough to have this year, is usually our 9th and 10th graders.
Gotcha. Guys, I mean, and of course, not looking ahead past John Battle too much, but you all find yourselves in a pretty good situation. You pretty much entrenched in that 7th spot coming up playoff time. A couple weeks here, a couple more wins, you could be looking at the number 6, number 5, maybe even in a home ball game. Have you all talked about that, or what's your thoughts about that as things sort of the chips are coming at, on the table from here on out?
We just got to take it one game at a time. We're not really looking ahead to anything, and we're just hoping to win out. If it happens, then it happens.
Good deal. I kind of served that one up there. I wanted to see what sort of do some fishing, but again, Coach, everybody's bought into the logic, and it's starting to pay off on Friday night.
Dondre, you got some nods from Coach, so I think you answered that correctly.
Yes, sir.
So, anything you want to add to that? We pick on him, like I said, because you've been out a couple times, guys, and certainly do appreciate you. We do get a lot of feedback on you all. Everybody's so excited about watching what the things that's happened, and it's really been an exciting season. Win, lose, or draw from here on out. But again, looking for great things here the next couple of weeks. So, Chris, do you have anything else to add before we get to a little more of the humorous side, getting to know the guys a little bit more?
No, I guess actually I do. I said no, but you can really tell the improvement each week, game to game. The confidence seems to be getting more and more each game. Looks like even coming out for warm-ups, there's a little more pep in your step. I'm a firm believer that winning breeds winning. So I think you guys have got things going in the right direction. Hopefully we can just finish strong here.
The over and under, is Carson going to get another punt return for a touchdown this week? His streak is 2.
I hope so.
So everybody's starting to punt away from him, so that's last thing. Of course, today was John Sally's birthday. Did anything happen? Anybody throw him in the shower or anything like that, or nothing?
No, nothing really too crazy. We got something special for him. We'll throw him in the spiky bush out front.
Okay.
Well, if he came tonight, I was going to have everybody in the restaurant start singing to him.
We'll have
to file that away for next year.
Exactly. All right, again, folks. Want to say thank you to everybody that does listen. A lot of you all send in questions, comments, ideas, revelations that you'd like to ask the guys. Tonight, though, we've got a special young lady that's going to ask a lot of these. Miss Sam Jarrell, which will be with us here again after the upcoming break. We'll talk to her a little bit more about Gate City girls basketball as well as the track and field. Sam, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So, again, our guest host here, Miss Sam Jarrell, just take it around the horn here. Again, just ask whichever question to whichever guy, and we'll go away.
Why don't you call their names and then ask them the questions so they'll know who's answering what?
All right. All right.
DeAndre's starting to sweat a little bit.
Yeah, he's going to go first. DeAndre, what is the worst thing about practice?
Ooh. Worst thing about practice is?
Practice. This is practice.
Landon, what's your favorite cookie?
Double chocolate.
Double chocolate chip or chocolate overall?
Just chocolate overall.
Nice. Chocolate on chocolate.
All right. Logan, do you believe in love at first sight?
Whoa.
Buddy, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm going to go ahead and say yes, I do.
Nice.
Let's see.
Should have hit her with a no comment.
Should we ask for details?
Landon, what's the best thing about being a Blue Devil?
Ooh, okay.
Our tradition.
There you go. Okay.
Now you can throw some of those coaches' way too.
Yeah, the coach.
Oh, really?
Coaches. I mean, he's feeling a little bit lost.
All right.
Everybody wants to get to know him as well.
All right. Coach, what's your favorite sports quote?
Oh, there we go.
That's tough. I've seen a lot. I don't know. That one's. I don't know. I'm stumped on that one. I've seen so many sports quotes. I don't know which one is my favorite. I can't even think of one I can't even think of one off the top of my head.
Wow, she stumps the coach first time out of the gate. Wow.
White man coach, 2 in 1 night.
We may have to hire her on full time. Now you can't edit them now. Let's
Okay, I won't. DeAndre, what's your favorite genre of music?
I like all kinds of music, really.
Favorite artist?
I can't pick.
Conway Twitty.
I don't need it.
Leanne Rhymes.
I know it's not them.
Confederate Railroad. Coach Fugenlass was a Confederate Railroad.
I couldn't even tell you who that is.
Logan, if your life was a movie, which actor would you play?
Most likely Bruce Willis. I think we've got the same haircut going on.
Bruce Willis. You're going to join the club here in a little bit.
Mr. Clean. Should have said Mr. Clean.
See, Landon, what's your favorite day of the year?
Landon. He's conferring with the crowd.
When bow hunting season starts.
All right, Coach. What's your favorite season?
I like to win.